Great. I'm going to get to these in just a moment. I want to talk about the toxic political atmosphere that is out there right now. We're all witnessing it.
We have a real problem with police violence and police murders in our state, Governor Walz.
How about
You've
if
been governor for 1 year. We've been waiting that entire year for action. There have been
how about if I ask that question?
Can I take that question?
How about if I ask that
Can
question?
I take the question?
How about if he answers it? How
Sure.
about if he answers it? How we is this the justice for Jamar? Well, can you wait for 1 second here? Hold on. Is that a question? Is that a question? Ma'am, is that a question? Let's ask the question. Are you going to let him answer the question? Are you going to let him answer? I am talking to you. Will you allow him to answer the question?
I'm glad to answer the question.
Let him answer the question.
Please
let him answer the question.
Can I formulate what you?
I am the moderator here. You have a lot of wisdom.
I'm glad to answer.
A lot of wisdom. Let him answer.
Been interrupting the governor. He's trying to answer the question.
You're interrupting.
Thank you.
Now sit down so everybody can listen and see. Yeah.
So the issue of, I think we
got
started.
an okay boomer
Ma'am,
here. Wow.
We started this.
Will you let him answer the question? Will you let him answer the question?
The dean started. The dean.
Will you let him answer the question? Okay, I'm going to ask you again. Will you allow this to go forward? Will you allow this forum to go forward? Let him. You asked a question. Second. This is the second time. Will you allow the governor to answer the question? I didn't ask you to sit down. Will you allow the governor to answer the question?
First
Here
of
we
all,
go.
And I'm deeply sorry for your loss and in your brother's loss. And this issue of policing in our communities and distrust that runs through our communities.
What? Let him answer the question, please. Let him answer the question. All right, Governor, you want to try one more time? That's the second time.
This space that we're in, this is the healthy space that we need to be. And I can tell you that.
Will you let him answer? Will you let him answer the question? Go ahead.
How do these conversations? I'm going to give.
What? Okay. Are you going to? This is the third time. We've asked you 3 times. Allow him to answer the question.
I want to give.
It's not a yes or no. This is not. Please answer the question,
I am not the Attorney
Governor.
General, but let me speak to the Attorney. Let me.
All right, guys.
Ma'am,
will you allow him to answer?
I am the governor. I am doing the job. So give me the opportunity. Please give me the opportunity to express as I have understood and learned what my powers and what I am able to do. This is a state, just so you know. I do not have the power to grant pardons in this state. It's one of the few states. No, ma'am, what I'm trying to...
We're not... Are you going to allow him to answer the question?
I don't know how to answer the question.
All right, so we can't... we can't answer the question.
I did not say that. Ma'am.
Governor, why don't you wait?
We have started a process.
All right. This is... we're debating. Let him answer the question. Who wants? All right, we're going to move on here. If you don't allow him to answer the question,
I would really like to, because
you've disrupted this.
The pain
allow
that you
him
are feeling
to answer.
is real. What's happening in our communities is.
Go ahead.
Why is my humanity diminished on this? Why do I not believe? Why do I not try to say what I am trying to do? Attorney.
All right, this is the last time I'm going to. This is the last time I'm going to ask you to allow him to answer the question.
The Attorney General, along with the Department of Public Safety, John Harrington, have convened conversations across the state to try and gather information.
All right. Will you maybe, hey guys, maybe other people here would like to hear his answer. to hear what's going on. So maybe others want to hear this. All right. All right. Now it's disrupted. I'm going to ask you to leave now. Governor, just wait. Just wait for 1 second. Now that you have disrupted this, we're going to ask you to leave. We're going to ask you to leave. Does anybody else want to hear the governor this morning? Let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. All right. We are now going to ask you to leave. If you don't leave and allow this to go forward, we're going to have you escorted out. All right? The governor wants to answer this question. So, you haven't allowed him to.
Would you like to meet with me as soon as we finish this so that I can answer the others? Would you like to take a minute?
Well, is that the answer? You would. The answer is yes. You would like to meet with him afterwards. All right, that's all. That's all. Then we're not going to continue this with you here. So let us. We've asked you to stop 3 times. Now we're going to ask you to be escorted out.
A chance to answer, ma'am.
We're all going to take a 5-minute break.
Valerie
Governor
has been in my home on numerous occasions.
Governor, let's wait for a second.
No.
Hey, everybody, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, here we go.
Sorry. No, ma'am.
We're ready.
All right.
So let's go in the back.
Yeah.
I'll stay here. I'm going to stay here.
All right. I'm glad to stay too. I mean, if they said so, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm glad to. Yeah. And I meet on numerous occasions, and they didn't give us a chance. This forum that Attorney General listened.
Okay, we're just going to take a break while we're doing this. Now, the governor has offered to meet with these folks after this event. So we're going to do that, but I don't think that that's the purpose of what this disruption is. So we're going to wait. All right, here we go. What's that? Yes. All right, we've asked 3 times for you. Are you going to allow this forum to continue? Yes. All right, it's time for you to leave. We're going to ask people to escort you out. Will you be here? Will you be here afterwards to talk to the governor? No, will you be here to talk to the governor after this event? Are you going to be here after the event to talk to the governor? Well, I'm asking you if you will meet with the governor after this event. Is that a yes? Is that a yes? All right, it's time. Yeah. So we're going to ask you to leave and escort you out. We've tried to give you the opportunity. Well, in my view, these folks have a lot of wisdom if they would share it. So, all right, let's go that way. Well, we do want to hear. So I apologize. This will just take a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back. Well, very dramatic. I did want this to be memorable, and it will be for everybody. So the governor's offer still stands that he will meet with these protesters should they choose after this event. So I personally believe that protests like this, not only do I welcome them in general, they have a lot of wisdom that the rest of us do not have. And so if we could all talk about it, that would be fantastic. I'd like to welcome back to the stage, if the governor's here, Governor Tim Walz. All right, let's give this a shot again. I would like you to answer that question, however, because this is one of the most important issues that Minnesota faces today.
This passion and this anguish is real. This is happening across the country. It tears at our communities. It tears in a forum like this because we have to figure out what is going wrong. Why are these situations continuing to rise? So one of the first things we did, Attorney General Ellison, and I want to give him credit, is leading on this, along with Public Safety Commissioner John Harrington. And they starting to do best practices. They're bringing folks involved, and they're having the community discussions. And those of you who have been to them, they are passionate and raw, just like this. Having your brother killed on the streets is something that I think you've earned the right to be upset. You've earned the right to be angry. But for us to try and figure out, how do we change the model of policing? How do we make sure that the communities feel like, as it is, part of the community? We're doing things in our budget, put money into grants to go to those communities. The recommendations that are going to come out in the police-involved shootings that will come back to us will inform the decisions that we make. And it is being done with people impacted this. It is being done. And I refused in this case, I'm just going to say it, to dismiss Valerie Castile's pain in saying that. She has been an advocate and gone out of her way to make sure in every single experience. She told me that she was getting tired of standing in front of the governor's residence. She wanted to be inside once in a while and be here about that. This is a woman who, in the grief and the deep pain she has, is figuring out how to turn her advocacy into policies that make sure that no other mother goes through what she did with Philandro. So I want to acknowledge, and I think all of us in this room, this is coming out of deep pain. It's coming out of something that's going wrong in our communities. It is something that does have to be addressed. And I think for us to try and move, and I say this is where you're in this situation. As governor, I wish with all my heart that I could stop these immediately. And I'm trying to figure that out. But the ability to what you're asked to do. I am not the top prosecutor in the state. You do not possess that capacity. And to try and build the system that people believe justice is really there. Not one person who sits in this. I am very adverse to executive action, even when I have that. But the point I pointed out about the pardon system is one of the things that I am trying to change. It's one of the reasons that we took action on capping probationary periods. We have to have massive criminal justice reform. And that is a piece of this. That does not ease the pain of losing a brother. It does not ease the pain of what's happening there, but it does get systemically. Why is it that Black males in Minneapolis are more apt to be arrested than to graduate from the University of Minnesota? Why is it that these disparities exist? Why is it that arrest rates, all of those things? We have to know.